Hello everyone. This is what I'm attempting to make. I'm making my own cross medallion, and I think it's turning out very nice. So I had the idea to get online and show you how to make these cute little stars. I made this a while back. These here are 15-0 beads with 3mm bicones, and that's a Rivoli. I can't remember what the size of it is, but I made a few of these a while back. Also made a ring. That's Allen stitch there for the band. And I'm going to teach you how to make these little stars. And that's made out of 11-0 seed beads and 3mm bicones and Nymo Thread size 13 beading needle, or you could use the size 10. Either or, they would work fine, but I'm using the 13-0 and I mean 13 size 13 beading needle. So let's put on 5 seed beads. And I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to be making pauses in between because of the fact this is like my third attempt trying to record a video how to make this. And for some odd reason, my phone only records 20 minutes or 18 minutes, and it's like really pissing me off. I don't know why it's doing that. Something to do with the settings, so I'm going to have to look at that after. But right now, I'm just trying to accomplish showing you how to make this. So, eventually with the tail, that's going to have to go because it's going to get in the way. So you just sew in, and right now I already got a knot. And right now I don't even have any wax, beeswax to go on my thread, but yeah. Some people tie this together, but I rather not. I don't like dealing with the bulk, the thread bulk after. So you just take one seed bead and you just sew it in. So that's all you do all the way around, is just take one seed bead, sew it into your next. So let me pause this. Okay, so I'm back. So once you sew in all the sew in all your seed beads in, I'm on my last one, and so that is the very first seed bead I came across. Well, actually, that's the last seed bead to be sewn down in a circle, but then this here seed bead is the very first. So you go through that. Now this is going to tangle up. I could just... It's hard dealing without beeswax, and as you can see, this here already formed a tiny little star. So these points on the end, we're going to be sewing from one point to the next. So you pick up 2 seed beads, sew it into the next point. Already I'm having trouble. So I'm going to pause this video. There. And that's how it goes. So yeah, you just keep doing that all the way around. So one point to the other. like that. So I'm going to pause this. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're at the very end. And where we started off, this here was the very first of the 2 sets. And this here is the very last seed bead. So you go through up those 2. And you're going to notice the beads sitting like that, so you got to try to get them in. So you notice now there's 2 sets here, 2 sets there, 2 sets there, 2 sets there, and 2 sets down here. We have to use another 2 sets. So here we go. Here, pick up 2 more beads. And this time, when you sew in, you sew into the next bead, but the next bead underneath it. Like that. And it's gonna give you a go because the seed beads now are starting to get tighter as you go along, so it's going to really affect your thread. And then when you do, you'll always have to make sure it sits properly, and then you sew into your next 2 sets. Just the first bead of that 2 sets, so. And then you grab another 2. And you do the same. And you sew down to the last, underneath, the bead underneath. Make sure that it sits. See how it's sitting right there? You don't want to leave it like that, so there. And then you just here. I'm going to pause this because I still got 3 more sets to sew through. Okay, so I'm on the last set. And this is not going to be easy. This is where it's going to be hard. I'm going to try to make sure that sits right. There. Now, oops. This is how it looks at the very end. And then when you're finished, okay, this is where it gets hard too. Okay. I also cut off the tail. I just didn't want it to interfere, because believe me, it does. And then from here, you sew in the points. I showed you the tiny little star. That's a size small star. This here's a size medium, but we're going to be going to a large. So let me pause the video right here. And yeah, you just got to sew in the point on the medium-sized star. Okay, so yeah, just sewing in the point, the point of the medium-sized star. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm on the very last point. Hopefully this doesn't tangle up on me too much. Alright. Now if I can get my needle. Not easy. Alright. So now that we got the 5 points on there, you sew up. We sew up through these 3 beads and the one on to the left. Alright, let's get this. Alright. Now, sew down through here. You can watch past episodes at our official W5 YouTube channel, and you can reach out to us on Facebook and watch the W5 team okay. On Instagram. On behalf of the W5 investigation team. Now we ready for the bicones. You sew 1 bicone and you get it in through that second. I don't know why this is giving me such a go, but it is. There. The following program is presented with described video.
American Airlines. In 20 years, they've flown 16 million flights.
All right.
Million. So your head equals how many crashes? About 2,000. Lower. 300.
Okay, this is giving me a go, isn't it? So, this is what you do all the way around. Add your bicones, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm on my last bicone. And I sewn it completely up to the peak. Now, in the video that I got this from, they had a different kind of bead that was oval shaped. Like, I'll take a really fast peek at what it looks like. Okay. See right there? So because of that, that's a large seed bead. I don't know what the name of that. Alright, so now she's going to be sewing in three beads into that. But where my bicone is so small, I'm only sewing in 1 seed bead into the bicone, and then another seed bead from the bicone to the peak. So you do that all the way around, okay? And then I'll come back and show you how to finish up. Okay, so I'm on the very last, and then you sew it up to the last two. And now we're ready to make the last completion of the star. To make it a large, you add 5 seed beads, and in between the in between the bicones, those 2 seed beads, that's what I'm going to be sewing it into. And it's going to make a little peak of its own, but sometimes it needs its own, it needs some assistance with that. So 3, 4, come on, work with me. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to sew into the other. Yeah, I was supposed to sew into this and this to get it ready for, now I'm ready for the next 5. And just to make it simpler, there's 3 beads here. Sew them all into so that you can be ready for your next peak. And see how that just snaps into place? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And sew into those 3. And there's another peak. 3, 4, and 5. Sew into those 3 seed beads. There. 2, 3, 4, 5. And voila! And I just sew into all of those. And you just gotta, there. All done. That's the large. And now I am done. I'm just going to sew all around the edges a couple of times, and I'm done. And then I'm ready to sew this all together. This is how it's going to look when I'm... Then there's... And that's how it's going to look once I get them all sewed together. That's not sitting right, but I'll figure that out pretty soon. But yep, there you go. Thank you.